It's the first MasterChef quarter-final. And this week's best amateurs are back to face two more daunting tests.
To get to the quarter-final, I can't believe it. I'm very, very happy. I'm very pleased. I already feel like I've won.
I'm a very determined person, very passionate as well, so I'm really fired up.
I'm going to do everything in my power to get through to the next round. Sabotage if I have to, and just cook my socks off.
It's a huge, huge day today. It's been so much fun. I definitely don't want it to end.
Luckily, because I've been here holding your hand, we've ended up with 4 good cooks. Let's see them go again.
I say get them in.
Welcome back. Very good to see you. You've been given a brief to cook a main course. You know what that brief is, you know what the parameters are, but it's your food, it's your creation. Once you've cooked that, we are going to bring in the person that gave you that brief.
You have 1 hour and 15 minutes. Good luck, ladies and gentlemen. Let's cook.
The main course brief that I've given to today's contestants is to use just 3 ingredients on the plate. If I'm being generous, they might be allowed a sauce as well. It's very easy to throw everything at the plate, but the tighter your framework, the better your cooking has to be, because every single one of those ingredients has to count.
I love Jay's brief to our 4.
This is the first time we've ever done anything like this. And I'm fascinated to see how they interpret what it is that Jay has asked for. Kalisha.
Hello.
What are you making?
Turmeric spice, a sea bass, parsnip chilli, and tarragon sauce with cherry tomatoes.
How does this fit in with the brief you've been given?
Coming from my background, it was a little bit tough, because I was just thinking everything else has quite a few other ingredients in it. And I thought I'd just show my British side of things.
Are you all right?
Yeah, nervous, but I'm all right.
Why are you nervous?
I don't know.
You gave the best dish I've eaten in the competition so far. Possibly. Why would you be nervous?
I just want to make sure everything goes out right.
For anybody in the room, this brief is difficult for Kalisha because her style of food is very complex with lots and lots of different ingredients. So for her to take it back just to 3 ingredients and maybe a sauce, really tough.
20 minutes are gone. Just under an hour left.
I admire the courage of youth, and Robert's got it in bucket loads.
So how do you feel about the brief?
It pushes you because it sort of channels you towards simplicity. You think 3 things, make it nice and simple, but you know that at this stage in the competition that's not going to be good enough.
What are you going to make for us?
A ballotine of chicken breast stuffed with black pudding. That's with fondant potato, asparagus and a masala cream sauce. There will be nowhere to hide with it. It will have to be perfect.
Fondant potato, chicken, black pudding, lovely idea. What he's got to do today, though, is make sure there's huge amounts of flavour and that chicken is beautifully moist.
You're halfway. I love Catherine. I love her food, I love the flavour, I love her heart on a plate.
I think it's been really helpful to be given a brief for the dishes today. It's one of my favourite dishes, it's one of my husband's favourite dishes. I've chosen it because of its simplicity. That's why I like it.
What are you making, Catherine?
Poached hake on lentils with a pepper sauce.
Anything about it that worries you?
The lentils, they can turn to mush, so I've got to be careful about that. Obviously, fish, it's simple, but it's got to be cooked to perfection.
Catherine's interpretation of the brief is really good. She's taken 3-star ingredients, 3 things she really likes, and she's packing them full of flavour.
You've got half an hour left, all right?
Tony does a huge amount of work and he knows exactly what he wants to deliver.
I'm practicing non-stop. I've not had a single run-through that's gone well, though. So today has to be the day that it all comes together.
Hello, Tony. You look more stressed than everybody else in the room.
I've put myself under quite a bit of pressure today, but I want to win now, so that's the attitude, right?
What is it you're making?
Rabbit, a number of ways. Spinach, a number of ways. And I'm doing mushrooms a couple of times as well.
Does this fit the brief?
You wanted 3 things on a plate, and I'm giving you rabbit, spinach and mushrooms. I just happen to be using a lot of rabbit and a lot of mushrooms, yeah.
Can it be done, all of this?
But yeah, we'll get it done.
Tony is the most ambitious cook in the room, and maybe foolishly. He's braising, he's frying, he's deep frying, and he's roasting. Mushrooms 3 different ways, spinach 2 different ways. I mean, that's unbelievable.
What, 17 minutes left? My meat's about to come out the oven, so we're about to find out if that's cooked or not. Shred the meat for the braised ring. Yeah, we're getting there.
You OK?
Yeah.
You've got just 5 minutes. Don't say you weren't warned. 5 minutes, please. That's it. Your time's up. Stop.
Oh, it looks pretty. Looks really pretty.
It's all about what it tastes like. It's probably the first dish I've ever made that does look pretty.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd now like to introduce you to the person that set you this task. Renowned food writer, Rayner.
Hi.
Jay, just remind us again what the brief was.
My brief for the contestants was to prepare a dish for me using 3 ingredients, a sauce as well if I'm feeling generous.
Right, are we ready?
Let's find out whether they've done it.
Robert, would you like to bring your dish up for us and Jay, please?
Robert has used 4 ingredients instead of 3. He's made a ballotine of chicken stuffed with black pudding, fondant potato, asparagus, crispy chicken skin, and a masala cream sauce.
Do you know, I think you could have hit the brief perfectly if you dropped either the asparagus or the potato. The chicken breast, actually, I think is lovely. And I like the sauce. Your fondant potato just needs longer. But I think it's a good, strong effort.
Your sauce, from my point of view, needs a bit more flavour. Otherwise, I think it's a great step in the right direction.
Thank you, John.
We are about an inch away from yummy, but yum is good enough, mate.
Fantastic. I'm feeling really, really good. I mean, I never expected it to be perfect, and I mean, they did have some criticisms of it, but they all seem to enjoy it, so I'm happy, really, really happy.
Hi there.
Kalisha's main is turmeric spiced sea bass, parsnip and chilli mash, fried cherry tomatoes in balsamic vinegar, and a tarragon sauce.
The fish is nicely cooked. I like the chilli and the mash, but the mash is a bit gummy. It's like it's been overworked. And I know exactly where you're going with cherry tomatoes. When you cook them down, they go really caramelised. It's almost like eating sweeties off the bottom of the oven, isn't it? They're not quite caramelised enough.
Your fish is cooked beautifully. For me, the parsnip puree is way too sweet, and the tarragon sauce is also very sweet. And the fish is almost getting lost amongst those things.
Thank you.
I like the tarragon sauce. I like the parsnip with the chilli. I like the cherry tomatoes. I don't like them all together. I find them all a little bit in battle with each other.
It just didn't work out the way I wanted it to work out, so that's why I'm just kicking myself, and I am a little bit disappointed.
Catherine has served poached hake, lentils with bacon and a red pepper sauce.
I think it looks very pretty. It's the kind of bistro cooking that I really, really like. Let's find out how it tastes. That is a beautifully cooked piece of fish. You haven't overcooked the lentils. You can turn something like that into a complete stodge that you could grout a bathroom with, but you haven't done that. I think it's a bright, fresh plate of food. And also, I think it does show what you can do if you limit yourself to a few ingredients.
This is the sort of dish that what I would want to do right now is get my big hunk of white sliced bread and string it all around the outside of the bowl and eat what's left over.
I think you've absolutely nailed that brief. Job well done.
Did you embrace the brief as an opportunity, or did you think, blimey, how am I going to come up with something?
I definitely embraced it as an opportunity to show the cooking that I do at home on a daily, weekly basis.
Well, can I come back to your house then?
Jay.
My husband likes the food too.
Oh, all right, you've got a husband, fine.
I can't believe it. I was so embarrassed walking up there because my meal looked so simple and plain, and they loved it. I'm absolutely shocked.
Tony's 3 ingredients are rabbit, spinach and mushrooms. He's made a saddle of rabbit stuffed with rabbit liver, kidney and porcini mushrooms, a deep-fried ball of leg meat, rabbit racks with a herb crust, braised rabbit topped with spinach crisps, spinach puree and a porcini sauce.
So on the one side, Tony, you have very smartly laughed in the face of the brief. On the other side, I am staggered at what you've managed to do in an hour and a quarter. If I was to choose a highlight, I actually think it's the braised rabbit and mushroom with the deep-fried spinach on top. Add that cracking classical sauce. That would do as dinner by itself.
Thank you.
It's a very, very accomplished dish. Well done, you.
Thank you.
Tony, I tell you what, I'd have given you 10 to 1 that you wouldn't have got it finished. When you burnt yourself, I would have upped the odds. Mate, incredible work.
Do we have to give it back now?
No, you can finish.
Do you want another nibble before you go?
I'm going.
Right, one more bit.
I stretched the boundaries, but I think I got away with it, and I got good feedback from Jay, which is amazing. I'm so pleased.
Right, we've seen you cook your main course. Now it's time for dessert. You know the brief. At the end of this, of course, one of you will be going home. 1 hour and 15 minutes, off you go.
My dessert brief is a bit tricksy. Good dessert should appeal to the greedy child inside every adult. I want to feel that you're trying to cheer up a child who's just fallen over and scabbed their knee.
My pudding is going to be a chocolate fondant with a salted caramel centre, brandy snaps stuffed with whipped cream, and a ginger ice cream. If the dish goes well, I think that puts me in a really strong position. And if they don't eat it, I certainly will.
You did an awful lot for your main course.
I did.
It does sound like you've set yourself an awful lot to do for dessert as well.
I have.
You can do all this.
We will find out. I don't want to go home, so I better nail it, eh?
Yeah, you better. I'll leave you to it.
Thanks so much, cheers.
I think Tony has completed Jay's brief. I think any child would like to get knee-deep in some of that sticky sweetness that Tony's attempting.
Hand on heart, I'm so excited to be making it because I've not made it for a while. Definitely brings out the greedy inner child in me. I'll probably eat it first before anyone can even get a chance to have any. I'm making palm sugar rice balls, coated with coconut, a sagu with rose coconut milk, and also a banana fritter.
Are these desserts you had when you were a kid growing up?
Yes, and that's basically we used to sit down at home with my nan on the floor and then eat together.
I'm looking forward to being taken on a journey back to your childhood.
Oh, thank you very much.
Enjoy.
Thank you, thank you.
What I really like about Kalisha is she introducing things we haven't seen or tasted before.
Half an hour gone, you've got 45 minutes left.
When I've practiced this dish, I've plated it up in a very homely style way. That's not how I'm presenting it today. I'm presenting it in a completely different way, something that I haven't done before, so that's what I'm really nervous about.
You're making me a bread and butter pudding, aren't you?
You are getting a bread and butter pudding of sorts. It is a chocolate bread and butter pudding that's with a vanilla custard, hazelnut spears, and a chocolate sauce. The inspiration for this dish comes from my nan, whose bread and butter pudding is unrivalled. And also my love of chocolate hazelnut spread as a child, that on toast, and I would be happy.
Robert's going to need a light touch here because chocolate lumps inside the bread and butter pudding and a chocolate sauce, we may be ODing on chocky.
Catherine's dessert is inspired by a Bakewell tart. So we've got this pastry bottom and then an almondine top with cassis and chocolate in it.
I must be the only person I know who really likes school dinners. I loved school dinners. I loved Bakewell tart and custard.
My school dinners were appalling, so if you do actually manage to replicate those, my inner greedy child will be sitting in a corner sucking his thumb.
It's a very, very strange combination. The cassis and the chocolate will really fight against each other. Right now, I think Catherine's got her work cut out to impress.
I'm making some more custard. I don't like that custard.
15 minutes left. Come on, guys, 15 minutes.
A bit of hazelnut sugar work. I did it for the first time yesterday. Here's hoping the second time works as well.
You have just 5 minutes left, people. That's it. Your time's up. Stop.
It has
Well done.
caramel crystallised. Yeah, I'm pleased.
Well
That
done.
cream tastes good.
Oh, the ice cream is delish.
Right. Tony, come on, please.
There you go.
Tony's dessert is inspired by his childhood love of chocolate. He's made a chocolate fondant with a salted caramel centre, topped with some sugarwork, ginger ice cream, and brandy snaps filled with whipped cream.
Yeah, there it goes. Just running.
I think you've pulled off some very skillful work here. The ice cream's well made, the fondant is well made. I love the caramel inside it. I don't know who was more excited, me or you, when Jay cut into that and the caramel came oozing out. Very, very well done.
In terms of the brief, you've done it. Do you know, my only criticism, it sounds bizarre, is to say you didn't need 2 brandy snaps on the plate. But then, Greg Wallace is one of the judges, so it's probably a good idea.
For all the work that's done here, It's very sweet and a bit rich and overindulgent. I know what you're trying to do. You want to show off. But there's going to be a day when you're going to be confident enough to come up here with 1 or 2 things on a plate and go, look what I can do. And I do them really well.
I'm feeling really pleased. My dessert courses are never my strongest. Feedback could have been slightly better, and then guys thought it was a bit rich, but I'll live with that.
Inspired by her love of school dinners, Catherine has made a chocolate, almond and creme de cassis tart with star anise custard.
I couldn't quite love it, even if I tried. It's very dark and a little bit bitter, and just not very luscious. I actually think if you did try to give that to a child, they'd burst into tears and run away from the table. I just don't think it's quite worked out for you or for us.
Yes, I'd agree.
I like the flavour of chocolate and almonds. I like the flavour of star anise in the custard. But there are so many problems there. It's dry, it's burnt, the custard's split.
Yep. Well, that didn't go very well. The custard did split. I let the tart burn. So, yeah, so that might mean it's bye-bye to me.
Robert's dessert is a tribute to his grandmother's cooking. He's made chocolate bread and butter pudding using brioche, hazelnut spears, chocolate sauce, and vanilla custard.
That's a very heavy-duty bit of dessert, sticking to my ribs. Kind of late career Elvis. And I'm afraid I don't mean that in a good way. John?
Oh, is that you're done?
Yeah, I'm afraid it is.
I actually don't mind it. I quite like the taste of it. I quite like the soggy mess in the middle of it. It's a brioche custard sog. And it doesn't remind me of dessert. It reminds me of kids sitting around for breakfast and having French toast and hazelnut and chocolate spread.
Listen, that hasn't turned out as you want it to do, but the greedy child is happy inside of me. That actually speaks to my youth. It was a while ago now. We just won the war and we celebrated.
It definitely didn't turn out as it did in my mind. Although, I mean, there seemed to be things that John and Greg perhaps liked, so I suppose that might be a good thing.
Kalisha has made the sweet she ate as a child. Pandan-flavoured rice balls filled with palm sugar and coated in salted coconut, banana fritters, and rose and coconut sagu or tapioca with a palm sugar caramel.
There's a dark caramel. Is that down at the bottom? It's slightly bitter and burnt. Is it meant to be?
Probably burnt then. Sorry.
It's a real shame.
Your gula melaka, which is a dark palm sugar anyway, you boiled it and it's burnt. It should be sweeter and not bitter.
I really don't like the pink frog spawn. That's what it feels like to me. However, those pandan balls with the coconut are an absolute triumph. I would eat a whole bag of those.
I did burn my sugar, but it was too late for me to rescue it, and I thought I shouldn't have really put that in there, but, you know, just took a chance, and obviously, big mistake, but hey, I'm very happy with the food that I put on the plate. Damn, I knew that was burnt. Oh.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for letting me into your domain. I don't envy you the decision you've got to make.
Thank you for the very interesting brief.
Thank you, Jay.
I'll leave you to it.
Thanks, Jay.
Cheers.
John and I now have a very, very big judging job to do. Thank you very much indeed. We'll see you in a bit. Did you enjoy that today?
I thought it was brilliant. I thought that was an absolutely brilliant task. 4 cooks who really pushed themselves. But we've only got 3 places in knockout week. Best food of the day?
Tony. Unbelievable effort. The guy is a star.
I think Tony could go a long way.
Robert didn't quite pull off his main course, but John, we're talking about millimetres away from perfection. I thought it was very good.
The dessert, I thought it was delicious. He's doing something which is, you know, outside the box. He's not doing stuff which is just safe, and I like that about him. Kalisha is an intriguing cook, but today there were lots of things that weren't quite right.
I thought she cooked her fish very well, but it didn't quite work as a plated main. The pink sagu I didn't like at all, especially with the burnt caramel. John, I don't believe she tasted that.
Catherine's main course we all loved. That hake was beautifully cooked. Her dessert was not very good.
I like Catherine's approach to food, I do, but she really did let herself down with the dessert.
I would hate John and Greg to judge me on my performance in that task because I do think I'm better than that and I would like to go through.
It's going to be very nerve-wracking, but you know what? I've done my best. I've had an amazing experience, and yeah, I will not change a single thing.
It's a big call, this. We need people that can keep going, can keep progressing.
For me, there is actually one person who I think their time on MasterChef is done.
A knockout quarter-final by 4 people obviously in love with cooking. Never easy to judge. One of you, unfortunately, has to leave the competition. The contestant leaving us is Kalisha.
Thank you very much. Of course, I'm not going to lie, I am a little bit sad, but massively proud. It's been a very interesting, exciting, new experience that I'll cherish forever.
I feel like I dodged a bullet, as they say. I'm just beginning to really enjoy this competition, so I'm really pleased that I'm here to cook some more meals.
Had a great day. It's the most fun thing I've ever done. I cannot wait to come back and cook again, and I don't want to go home. It's just great.
Someone had to go and I am ecstatic it's not me. Can't wait for the next round.
Catherine, Robert and Tony will be back for the knockouts. Next time, 10 new contestants will be battling it out to join them.
If you get drunk, then I might get through. Cheers. Salute.
When life gets you down, just keep on dancing.
And there you are.
Thanks, babe.
I think this is the best pudding I've eaten this year.